Last night on Stream Chat, put something on my radar that I somehow missed in regards to aliens. It's very rare that something slips through my fingertips when it comes to juicy alien details. So now, first thing in the morning, I wanted to look into it because I thought for sure I'd be coming in here, shooting it down. Oh, it's not an alien, it's actually my buddy Eric and his homemade hovercraft. Like, I thought for sure there'd be a logical explanation for what they were telling me, which is new footage has just been revealed in an official capacity in regards to a unidentified aerial phenomena that ate a Hellfire missile. Which already sounds so far-fetched, it sounds like it fit right at home in Ice Cube's new War of the Worlds movie, but, you know, I'll eat my left shoe here. That is like exactly what this footage shows.
I want to cue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe, this was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling. So
now, I've made fun of a lot of new footage that keeps surfacing, like the fucking steel soccer balls that have been spotted, you know, in Colombia, and then it's like, here's the proof, and it's a guy posing next to what looks like two colanders glued together with his nipples out. Like, that kind of stuff is so silly and so stupid, it is clearly a hoax. This, though, I don't have the same criticism of. But don't worry, I have plenty of criticism for it. This video is still pretty fishy. Granted, this is one of the more, like, authentic-seeming videos that we have, and you all know how much I want to believe, how much I want there to be irrefutable proof of aliens visiting this planet. Me and my dad argue about this 2 times a week. I love this shit. He loves this shit. I, more than anyone, want to suckle from the tit of hopium that this is aliens. But there are just too many things to overlook here that are red flags. 1, why is data on this absent, such as location, travel speed, that kind of thing that would be present on other pieces of footage? For some reason, it seems to crop out so much information that would be present on the actual raw footage of it. Also, why does it cut there? I don't understand the reason for cutting where it does. Why does it cut? Surely they would have still been following that if a Hellfire missile was just fucking fired at it and it's still going. They wouldn't have just dropped it there. If this is all legitimate and you're whistleblowing, attempting to blow the lid off of a big operation here, why would you intentionally hide some crucial data to the footage? It doesn't really check out. Also, this randomly being sent to a congressman with, I'm guessing, little oversight from other departments and other people, that also feels a bit peculiar, like it wouldn't necessarily work that way, I would think, or at least it historically hasn't. So I guess just the absence of that information, as well as like some of the odd circumstances around it, just lead it to feel a bit weird, because it should be there. Like it feels like it's deliberately cropped to not have some of that information there. Also, why were they using a Hellfire missile in the first place? Hellfire missiles, as I understand it, keep in mind, I am not an expert on Hellfire missiles by any means, but you can look this up yourself. Hellfire missiles are typically used for air-to-surface engagements. It doesn't often get used for air-to-air. So it seems like a weird choice for them to just launch the Hellfire missile at this UAP that's scooting through. And it's also equally confusing why it ricochets in the first place instead of just exploding. Because it clearly does make contact there. There's even debris you can see, fire off from it. Why did it bounce off like a fucking ping pong ball here? Let's assume that this is actual alien technology and it's got some kind of hyper advanced, incomprehensible force field or gravity distortion field around it. Like, let's say that's all like legit an alien in there. Fucking Marvin the Martian is cruising through on his new cosmic nut ship, and it just now got this Hellfire missile shot at it. I just don't understand why it wouldn't blow up once it makes that contact the way that it's supposed to. I mean, it, of course, could be like a dud. It really seems like a miracle it even hit it with a Hellfire missile in the first place, considering how seemingly small the target is. But I just don't really get the ricocheting. It feels like even if there is a force field or some kind of crazy tech around it, it still should have just like blown up once it makes that clear contact. Of course, you can make the argument that this technology is so advanced, I am shitting my pants, it disabled the rocket mid-flight and that's why it bounced off, because now it was, completely disarmed or something. Maybe. I mean, if it's alien tech, throw all logic and knowledge we have out the window, because it would be beyond our understanding, truly. But food for thought, and something that I learned about that maybe could be an explanation for this. They make inert Hellfire missiles. They're used for the sake of like training and that kind of thing. Could this be an inert Hellfire missile? It would explain the lack of explosion there. But, counterpoint to my own point of bringing this up, from what I understand, most inert Hellfire missiles don't actually have the ability to be launched. Is it possible this one did? Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of maybes here, because this is so hard to know what is actually going on here. I haven't seen anything like this. Of all of like the alien ship footage I've seen, this one is the most head-scratching, I'll say it.
So, Mr. Knapp, have you heard about events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild, and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah. What the hell is that? What flies like that?
Again, I'm not going to speculate what it is, but the question is, why are we being blocked from this information?
That is something you can also see in the footage. The debris that seems to spawn after the impact does appear to get like wrapped up with the UFO. Like it appears to travel with it from that point forward, and the speculation is it has some kind of like gravity to it that is able to like attract it in, something like that. Again, if this actually is like alien technology, you could just start spitballing the craziest shit ever, and it's possible, because any technology that would allow visitors from the universe to come here would be so above and beyond our comprehension, we wouldn't even know what the fuck it would look like. So you could throw out anything like that as an explanation, and if it is actually alien tech, yeah, it's definitely possible. I just have a hard time believing that here. I think the IR camera also makes it seem very different than how it might have actually been in real life. Like, this could be as simple as like some kind of like missile interception test footage that we're seeing through IR that's been shared with the congressman under a completely false pretense. Missile interception technology is something the military actively pursues. Everybody knows that. That is real. Or maybe this moves kind of like a drone. Maybe this is a new type of drone. The fucking rubber drones, the Luffy drones out there, designed to ricochet rockets off of it. Like, there are other explanations outside of aliens. And since so much data is missing here, it's hard to really know exactly what it is, and also, like, other crucial components to it. It is very interesting, though.
Hellfire makes a hit, a kinetic strike on something solid. There's usually not much left of whatever it is it's hitting. It's very, very destructive. What seems to happen is that the missile is either redirected, or in some case, perhaps glances off the object and continues on its way.
Naturally, I had to call my dad to see if he had seen this yet, and if he hadn't, I wanted to put it on his radar so we could get the expert's opinion on it. Hey, did you see the new UAP footage, the new UFO eating the Hellfire missile?
What?
Yeah, Congressman just brought some footage of a supposed UFO that got hit with a Hellfire missile, but the missile bounced off it and it continued on its way. You haven't seen that?
No, where was that?
You're slacking. What the fuck? It was earlier.
I'm watching TV. I ain't on the computer.
Well, was
I've
it?
been working on my goddamn iRacing for 2 nights. I can't get on there because I did an update and it's all fucked up. I'm probably gonna have to just quit. I can't fix it.
No, no, no. You're not gonna retire from iRacing. I'll fix it. Yeah, look it up. It was yesterday, like last night.
What do I look up?
Just type in UFO Hellfire missile.
That was a hoax, though.
No, it's
Okay.
just
So UFO. What?
hell.
UFO dodges Hellfire missile.
Yeah, what do you think though? You think that's aliens? You think that's real?
They have more than 752 sightings.
Listen to Mom.
They have received more than 750 UAP sightings between May of 23 and June of 24.
No, it's
It's bullshit.
You can't tell what it is. It's a little white dot on a screen, and you see something flying at it and something down. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, it's just interesting though.
It's nothing discernible. Well, it's really not even interesting. I think it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of freaking hokey, if you ask me. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
How do we even know it's a Hellfire missile? That's what they're saying. We
Yeah.
don't know that.
That's true. That is just what they're saying. Well, you heard it here first. This did not pass the smell test for my father. I found it kind of interesting. He, however, smelled stink. The stink of some baloney. So after I heard that from him, I decided to do even more digging. I watched the footage back multiple times. I was reading from other people that had analyzed it quite a bit. And I found a theory that really explains a lot of the wackiness here in the presentation, like the absence of location, telemetry, that kind of thing. They are speculating that the object in the video isn't even moving. What's moving is the drone, the MQ-9 drone. They are saying that the drone is what's moving, and they are panning to the object, so it looks like everything around it's moving, when in actuality it is stationary. It would explain the absence of telemetry data here in the footage, because if that was present, you would see that the object itself isn't moving, it's the drone. So that would explain why they wouldn't want that there, if that is the case. But if that's wrong, it's easily debunkable. You could easily slap that shit down by just releasing the uncropped version of the footage. They're also explaining why the Hellfire missile didn't detonate, because they are speculating that this object is something very small and very light. Like a balloon, which, when it comes to aliens, the weather balloon thing is as old as time. That has been around for a while with the whole balloon theory. But in this case, I mean, it does kind of check out. Like I said, even if it was some kind of force field on alien tech, the Hellfire would have still exploded. It still would have detonated. But it doesn't here for some reason. Whereas if it passed through something, like a balloon or something really light in the air, it would go through without blowing up. That would explain that, but what it doesn't explain is the seeming ricochet of it. Because it does seem to aggressively ricochet off it, which the balloon theory doesn't account for. But if the object is actually stationary, it would also explain the use of the Hellfire. Hellfire is laser guided. It's hard to laser guide on something that is moving very fast in the air, which is why it's typically reserved for air to surface. If this is stationary, then it would explain how the Hellfire even hit it in the first place, because it's a fucking miracle to have even made contact at all. That is a tough thing for it to do. The balloon theory, or very light object in the sky theory, would also explain the carrying on after being hit with the Hellfire. Let's assume that it is some very light object up there that's stationary, or at the very least only moving little bits with the wind. And then it gets hit by the Hellfire. Well, it kind of maintains most of its shape, but it loses altitude over time. So as it's losing altitude and looks as though it's carrying on, they stop the footage before it gets to the point where it's obvious or it hits the ground. That does also make sense in that context too. So the balloon theory has some pros and some cons. Once again, it's just more food for thought. I do still find the footage interesting, even though my dad doesn't. I'm kind of surprised I'm the one more surprised by it and kind of bewildered by it. But I don't know, I just find this to be one of the more compelling, more unexplainable UFO videos I've seen in recent memory. So I wanted to yap about it a little bit. That's really it. See ya.